So, all right. So I did the Backlash pay-per-view. Unfortunately, they don't have the game set up where you can go back and you can look at and review what happened. I think you used to be able to do that on like the old WWE games. You can't do it on this one. So wrestling the pay-per-view, doing it, what I do is I stream it, but I mark it as a unlisted or private, and then I go back in and just edit the video up just so it could be a faster upload. I can stream for like an hour, but then I go in as soon as the stream ends, so you can instantly go in and edit it, and I just chop off the first second and like the last second of the stream, and then save it as a whole new video. It comes up as a copy. It uploads in like within 10 minutes, and then I can just go ahead and save it like in the middle, like when I'm doing when wrestlers are walking down to the ring and so forth. I'm typing in stuff in the about section for each show. That's why I'm doing that. So that gives me time to like type that stuff in real quick. So it makes it a quick upload because I want to just always want to move on to the next video and get on to the next stream and keep this processing. If I take long to do it, then it takes I lose interest. So anyway, point being, I did it. I wrestled with Backlash. Ended up taking like 2.5 hours to do because it was a glitch. It booked the match between Asuka and Becky Lynch with no ending. I wrestled the match for like a good 20-25 minutes. You take in, I think it was about 30-minute time frame that I paused it. I had to pause the game, when you get done with their entrances. I wrestling, and unfortunately it was like it was actually not even that interesting because I was really whooping the game with Becky Lynch. I was hoping that they would have Asuka, be more competitive, but I realized like I couldn't get any pinfalls. I couldn't exit the ring, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so when I paused the game and looked, the game was set up for the match to have no pinfalls, no submissions, no disqualification, no exits in the ring. There was no way to end the game, no way to end that match. So I had to quit the match, and I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in, and I'm just gonna have Dana Brooke come in and interfere. So I now restarted the match. And I was like, I'll just go and edit out this 30 minutes I just did. That was a waste. But I wrestled for like another 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and Dana Brooke never came down and interfered in the match. And I'm just like, okay, man, I gotta find a way to get this. So I had to quit it again. And then when I restarted it, the third time, I'm like, this time I'm just gonna have Becky come out, and then I'm gonna have Dana Brooke attack her. So there's not actually going to be the Asuka Becky match. It's going to be Dana Brooke attacking Becky, and then how that takes 2-3 minutes if you play the game with yourself or whatever. It takes like 2-3 minutes. You gotta interact, and then it's gonna finally like make it a DQ finish or no contest finish or whatever. So it did that. So then I went on finish. Like I said, it ended up being like a 2.5 hour stream where it really should have only been like about maybe like an hour 45 minutes or something like that, hour 50 minutes. So when I went back to go edit the stream up, I had to take out again the parts where the 2 times I was wrestling the match and it messed up. When I was trying to chop it up, now I will say it was my fault. I wrote down the wrong times on where I need to cut the video off at and splice out that part, take that part out. So I had to go back and try to re-edit it again. Well, when I went to go back and re-edit it again, this time the stream had completely finished loading up, and so now it wouldn't allow me to just crop out that little part, and I didn't realize that it was the full video I was loading up because now I had like 3-4 versions because I had already tried to chop it up. And so anyway, ended up erasing the second half of the damn pay-per-view. So what you see on my YouTube channel now is only the first half, the first 5 matches, 6 matches. So this is just recording this quick video to say what we ended up doing was, man, it was some good matches too, man. It was like it was some damn good matches that you won't get to see now. So yeah, like I said, to start the second half of the video, and also try to split it up into 2 videos so it wouldn't be a real long one video. So what we ended up having was Dana Brooke came out and attacked Becky on her way to the ring. She ended up picking up the women's championship belt, attacked Becky with it. Becky got in a couple shots, but she attacked Becky with the women's championship belt, and and then finally the ref called it off. After that, Triple H makes an appearance. He announces that listen to WWE Universe, 205 Live is not completely gone. It's just now going to be rebranded as Main Event, and there's going to be an opportunity for more wrestlers to get more opportunities across the WWE Universe. And then also saying that, hearing that the wrestlers or the superstars are part of the universe as well. So Christian will now be allowed to wrestle for the new World Heavyweight Championship that will be part of the main event brand, and it would be their top championship. And he'll be wrestling against a former champion in WWE who's be returning to active duty. All right. After that, we had the women's tag team belt, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan versus Sasha Banks and Bayley, who are the champions. That match ended up in a DQ when Sasha Banks and Liv, she couldn't get the pinfall on Liv, ended up going out the ring, and Sasha Banks went under the ring, grabbed out a kendo stick, and attacked Liv Morgan, causing DQ finish and allowing Sasha and Bayley to retain the women's tag team championships. The next match after that was actually the Raw tag team match, and Sami Zayn, Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, they were taking on the Hardy Boys as the champs. Hardy Boys retained. Jeff Hardy ended up getting he ended up finishing off with the Twist of Fate on Sami Zayn. Got the pinfall victory. So the Hardy Boys retained. Then Rey Mysterio challenged Buddy Murphy for the Intercontinental title. That actually ended in a countout. Buddy Murphy ended up started attacking Rey Mysterio outside the ring, and then Buddy Murphy climbed back into the ring right before the 10 count. So Rey Mysterio still laid outside the ring on the ground. So Buddy Murphy retained via countout. Then the match to the last match was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, where Shane Thorne and Finn Balor team up to go up against Tony Nese and Mike Kanellis for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. That match ended with Shane Thorne getting the pinfall victory over Tony Nese. So the new SmackDown Tag Team champions are Shane Thorne and Finn Balor. And then in the main event, Christian wrestling for the new World Heavyweight title. That would be the main title on Main Event, as you see right here on the video. Main Event is now 205 Live, has now been changed over to the Main Event brand. So you'll be seeing that right there. I do this Raw episode. So Christian ended up wrestling a returning former champion in WWE, and kind of going along with the storyline of right now that they were talking about in recent weeks of giving this person a big push, a singles push, Big E. And yes, Xavier and Kofi were at ringside. That match was tough, man. I think that match took me like a good 20 minutes, and I used up all of Big E's stamina. Like, he was barely moving by the end of that match, and Christian was like, had his boost going. Christian was kicking out of everything. I actually didn't think that Big E, I was controlling Big E. I didn't think I was going to end up winning that match. I was like, oh man, I was like, this is going to mess up my storyline. I'm about to come up with a whole different storyline because Big E is going to lose this match. But Big E ended up winning the match finally. He caught him with a big ending. I believe, was it a big ending, or did he have to hit him with an elbow drop? I can't remember now, but that's crazy. That was the last. I remember more about the previous matches than the last match. But yeah, it was a long match that I had to wrestle. But Big E won, so you'll be seeing Big E here. And then Big E is now the new World Heavyweight Champion for the Main Event brand. All right, so that's what I just had to say is, yeah. So if you go and you follow the timeline, you're watching the videos in order. You get to Backlash, and you're like, wait a minute, what happened to all the other matches and so forth? Well, that's what happened. So the second half of the stream was accidentally erased because the game booked a damn match with no finish, and I had to go in and edit out that I had wrestled it and then couldn't finish it and had to pause the game and then had to quit the match and try to start again. And I just didn't want to do simulate. I wanted to actually wrestle and get a real live finish for anybody who would be watching it. So that's that. Now I'm getting ready to set up to do this Raw stream, and it's about 10:30 a.m. and I don't really have too much to do today, so I actually should be able to get through this whole week today, and then probably be able to do Evolution tomorrow. This whole about tomorrow. So I might even, depending on if I get bored or not, I might be able to even get further since it's already 10:30. It's early enough that I might be able to get further on. But anyway, point being, that's done after Evolution, which is this is all women's pay per view. We got a few weeks off because Extreme Rules will be next, and that's a NXT event, and then you have Night of Champions, which is a Raw, SmackDown, and main event. All right, close it.